Unahaganisiga. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. Today, I have Narlene on for our session and our group. We're going to talk about changing our mindset to gain clarity. So, Narlene is a certified life and mindset coach. She specializes in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistics programming. Narlene also specializes in helping female entrepreneurs to uncover and release mindset blocks so they can gain more clarity, confidence, and abundance. So thank you so much for being on with us today to share your knowledge and tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey of how you changed your mindset to become this amazing entrepreneur.
Thank you so much for having me, Jacquelyn. It's really amazing to be here. Again, my name is Narley, just in case, Narley Karikari. I am a professional life coach and mindset coach, and I specialize in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistics. I've been into personal development since I was like 16 years old, but I found that I kept coming up against these self-sabotaging tendencies, a lot of anxiety and doubt about, my success, and essentially I kept sabotaging myself. And I was like, something is not lining up. I always felt like in the personal development sphere, there was something missing. And that's when I learned about subconscious reprogramming. And that's when my success and my growth really took off, because I was essentially taking control of the way my mind was thinking. And I was removing these limiting beliefs. And yeah, it's been an incredible journey. Now I'm helping female entrepreneurs do the same, step into their mission and, get out of their own way, essentially.
That's amazing. So tell us a little bit how hypnotherapy can help with mindset and releasing your blocks.
Absolutely. So how do I put it? So hypnotherapy, I guess it's like a practice, right? Like you think of meditation, how popular that is, right? So meditation is the practice of clearing one's mind, where hypnosis, therapy is the act of embedding more positive suggestions, right? You want to think of your brain as, that hardware, right? And then your mind is like the software. So if you don't believe you can achieve something, your subconscious mind will start to distract you, sabotage you, create anxiety, create distractions. But with hypnotherapy, what you can do is remove these limiting beliefs and install better beliefs. So you automatically take action, right? There's no hesitation, because you're changing essentially your identity, right? Your subconscious mind runs 99% of your decisions, your beliefs. All of your memories are stored there. A really good way to think of your subconscious mind as if it were like a warehouse with all of your memories, all of your beliefs, right? But some of these beliefs are like playing on a loop that keep people stuck, sad, So when you essentially stop the loop or break the cycle with hypnotherapy, life becomes so much easier. You feel more control and more focused, because you're not like, all over the place. So hypnotherapy is an amazing tool to really design your life, essentially, and design who you want to be, so it's natural. It doesn't feel inauthentic. Like just for me, for example, doing things like this would literally make me want to faint. Like I just had a lot of anxiety sharing my voice, my opinions, and how are you going to be a life coach if you can't share your beliefs?
Right.
I had this subconscious belief that people didn't understand me, or people didn't want to hear me. Right. So using hypnotherapy, I was able to alleviate these blockages to feel more accepted in myself and more comfortable in my skin. So it's a really cool tool. It does have some bad connotation because of what we see in the media with like people like a duck, but that's totally not what hypnotherapy is about. It's clinical use. Yale, Harvard, Stanford, the Mayo Clinic, they all advocate for the efficacy of hypnotherapy. So I really want more people to become aware of this tool that's really transformational.
Yeah. So I've only done hypnotherapy like twice in my life. So there might be people who don't really know what it is, or have this idea of, why is someone like, I don't know. I could associate it with this movie that I saw where like this lady's like ticking a little clock in front of someone, and then they're like out of their body. So how do we change that? What does that actually look like? So people can actually go and do it, because it's not as scary as it sounds, or it's not even as scary, actually.
What's really interesting? A lot of the time, if you've ever done a guided meditation, it actually is hypnosis, but they just say guided meditation because they don't want to like intimidate people, right? So anything that's like you're getting sleepy or all of that stuff, that's stage hypnosis. And what those hypnotists do is they find the person that's most outgoing, kind of like the class clown that kind of wants to be front and attention, right? But with hypnotherapy, you're in complete control. It's not brainwashing. It's not, I can't override who you are.
Yeah.
If you rise right now, that's essentially how it feels like. And you're in control, right? So as a hypnotherapist, my job is to make sure whatever the suggestions you want to change. For example, I always do confidence hypnosis with my clients, right? So I would ask the client, if you were more confident, how would you be showing up in the world, right? Like, oh, I'd be more assertive, I'd be more upbeat, I'd be more comfortable in my body. So once I guide them through the hypnotherapy session, essentially when they're in the light trance, I'm giving back to them their own vision for their future self, right? So it's nothing that it's a done with process, not a do to process. And that's key to understand. It essentially takes about anywhere from half an hour to 45 minutes. You're very relaxed. First, you relax your mind and then your body. And people feel like it's kind of like unclogging the drain of their mind, right? Like just kind of a reset button. People, after you do a hypnosis session, you essentially feel really relaxed and really rejuvenated, right? Because sometimes our conscious mind is always like chattering.
Right.
So it's nice to just have that. Yeah. So it's just like meditation. I really want people to open their minds to it. A lot of the most successful people like Bob Proctor, Catherine Zankina, James Wedmore, they're all master hypnotherapists. They just don't say they are, right? So they're using this tool behind the scenes, making massive money, but that's their secret little tool, right? So it's really something that we don't talk about a lot, but a lot of people that will use it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I hope that helps everyone who is kind of on the fence about hypnotherapy and hypnosis. So now you have clarity. It's not that scary. So just try it. So let's talk about mindset. Okay. How often do people's mindset prevent them from even gaining clarity in their life? And how do we overcome that?
Yes, absolutely. So essentially, we're all conditioned a certain way, right? Especially with mainstream society, we're taught to go to school, get an education. Those are type of conditioning, right? And especially during the school years, we're taught that there's a right and wrong way to do things. And should we fail, should we get an F or whatever, that's like the end of the world, right? So there's already this like conditioning that fear of failure is really embedded into our culture. Fear of trying, fear of looking stupid, fear of rejection, all of these really intense things, they're already kind of programmed into us. So when your mindset is essentially overwhelmed or feeling self-doubt, you kind of stay in this emotional home of being stuck and procrastinating because it's better than failing, right? It's better than looking stupid, right? So working on your mindset really allows you to gain that clarity. And clarity comes from doing. That is the only way to get feedback in anything, right? You have to kind of shoot the arrow, see where it lands, and then shoot again, right? But a lot of people are hesitant because of all of these fears, but there is no right or wrong way, right? Tons of mindset coaches that do not use hypnotherapy. Who's to say I'm more right or they're more wrong, right? We just act from a place of sincerity. And I think people are really hard on themselves as well, especially women, female entrepreneurs. They're really hard on themselves because they're used to this like corporate structure of do it right, get it graded. Everyone's, your whole reputation's on the line. But I think that my mindset is a growth mindset, right? So my skills, my knowledge, my talent will grow with me as long as I continuously move the needle forward, right? And a lot of the times the fear is irrational, right? Like half of the time it's not even real. But when you start to work on your mindset, you'll start to see more possibilities. And essentially everything is just a perception and an interpretation, right? So everyone is interpreting things through their own subconscious mind and saying if it's a good interpretation and it's a bad interpretation, right? But everything is neutral. I really want you guys to understand everything is neutral. Like a hammer can destroy a house or build a house, but the hammer is neutral. It's how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I love that. I love that analogy. I'm like, that is so true. So I'm a body and emotion co-practitioner. And so what I do is release those trapped emotions, trapped energies from the body that even are causing us to have those fears, causing us to have those belief systems. And what we found is that if we have a trauma when we were 5 years old that caused us to have panic, right? And that was directed towards a dog. they already developed that fear of a dog before they were even bitten. So it's like kind of redeveloping and releasing those fears. Even like the block of like feeling unworthy. I had a broadcast message that said, I don't receive. And so what am I doing? I'm blocking myself. People are reading that and they're like, oh, she doesn't want anything. And I'm like, wait, no, come here. Like, I want to help you. So I was able to release that. So in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistics, how are we able to transform that from that emotional side so we can really allow ourselves to become our full potential?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's this really powerful quote by Aristotle, and it's like, give me the child from 0 to 7 and I'll show you the man, right? Give me the child from 0 to 7, I'll show you the man. That's exactly what you're talking about, right? Like from that young age, we create all these belief systems, but with NLP, you're able to uncover them quickly, because with neurolinguistic programming, it's essentially having the conscious mind and the subconscious mind have a direct lines of communication, right? Uncovering and unearthing what's really going on. So there's essentially with NLP, there's so many different types of tools and techniques that you can use to really get to the bottom of what's stopping you. But just for example, a really quick way to uncover a limiting belief is to ask, let's say you're dealing with self-doubt, right? So this is an NLP type question, right? So if self-doubt were your friend, how would it be protecting you, right? So a lot of people are like, no, self-doubt doesn't protect me. But all human behavior is positive, right? Even if the child is screaming, it still wants attention. Even if the dog is barking, it still kind of wants attention, even if it seems bad, right? So self-doubt is usually protecting people from judgment, fear of failure, right? And those are the conscious underlying things that you can work with NLP therapy to uncover and release. Just like it's all trapped in the body too, right? Like you with emotions, right? So your beliefs and your emotions and your thoughts are all married. So with you, releasing those emotions automatically releases those beliefs, but I'm doing it from another way, right? So it's
I love that. So what are some tips? So if there's people out here watching and they have this belief system of I can't do it, I'm not good enough, or fear of failing, what are some tips that they can do at home before they even go and see you or me? What can they do to already start transforming themselves?
Absolutely. So 2 things come to mind right away. If you're wanting to do any type of, career change or a new type of pivot in your business or whatever have you, change the way you look, any type of change, right? Because change is scary because it's change, right? It's uncomfortable. Essentially find examples. Your subconscious mind loves examples. For me, I had to find examples of, Black mindset coaches that used to be models, like all sorts of different things. But there's so many people in this world, right? So when you can find examples of people already excelling in your chosen profession, that gives you more possibility, right? And with more possibility, understand that there's more opportunity for you, right? Next thing you can do is to create a long list of everything you can gain, right? What does that cost when you don't go for your dream? What is to gain when you go for your dream, right? 9 out of 10, you're going to gain so much more from pushing forward, right? And I always say, if it's coming through you, it's meant for you. Even for me and you, there's so many professions we could be doing. There's so many things else we could be doing, right? But I don't want to be a hockey player. I want to be a chef, right? So coming through you, it's meant for you, right? Your desires are connected to God. And that's what I believe anyway, right? So I think just surrendering to your desires and understanding that you're allowed to want something different for your life and giving yourself permission to just go for it. I think a lot of people talk themselves out of what they want, right? But flip the script and start talking yourself into what you want, right? Like be your cheerleader. Look at the pros of what you can gain on the other side, how your dreams are going to benefit other people, your family, and society at large, right? Because our dreams and our gifts aren't for us. They're for other people. They're for humanity, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I absolutely love that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should do this myself. I'm like, what can I gain from this? Because I know the subconscious and the conscious mind are so interconnected, but our conscious, controls everything, can prevent us from that, because we could be staring at a book and be like, I want to read it. And everything else says no. Like, why would you? That's a waste of time. Or, you're not smart enough or anything. Like, you have nothing to offer once you read this. So really helping ourselves switch and really start to like transform from our inside out to like, okay, we're going to work on our emotional baggage. We're going to work on our subconscious and our belief systems to help us so we can achieve that goal. So when you are helping your clients who are women entrepreneurs, what is the number one thing they are like come across that is their biggest challenge? And then how do you help them transform?
Yeah, so it's somewhere in between the, I'm not ready yet, or I'm not able to change, right? A lot of people are like, I'm not ready yet. It's not the right time. Right? That's all just fear, right? And there's this lack of confidence because they've never done it before, right? So it's hard to imagine yourself doing something when you've never been that person to do it, right? So essentially, my first session with any client is to really create a vision. Sorry about that. To create a vision of where we're going, because the subconscious mind, if it doesn't have a full vision with all of your senses, smell, hear, taste, and touch attached to that vision, it's going to hold you back. So once we create essentially a roadmap and put the GPS coordinates in the future, it's so much easier to move through because it's not scary. You know what you need to do to get there, right? Now it's just putting the action behind the task. So yeah, it's definitely this fear of not being ready and not knowing if it's possible even because, never done it before. How would you know if you're going to be successful? Right. But when you have that clear vision, when you can really outline who you're going to become, who you need to become, what you're going to see in that vision, what you're going to feel, what take, who you're going to impact, all of these little details, your subconscious mind feeds off of them. And once it has a really clear picture in the subconscious, essentially whatever you hold in the subconscious mind must come true, right? That's why it's so important to clear it if there's negativity, right?
Yeah.
So we're continuously in bad relationships and they don't know why. It's like it's all in your subconscious, right? So when you create a new image, a new vision of your future, it'll just push you right through, right? So one thing to remember is your conscious mind is your goal setter, but your subconscious mind is your goal getter, right? So you have to marry the two to really get your goal.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening, write that down. Your subconscious mind is the getter.
Yeah.
So I love that. So I am currently going through a program called Inside Out Institute, which helps combine life coaches and transformation coaches with body and emotion coach. So they're actually working with our clients to meet their subconscious and conscious and do that work to help them become their full potential self. So something I'm learning to do, and I'll share a little bit about mine, is I had to create my 5-year vision statement. And that was probably the hardest thing that I had to do. I had to really sit there. What does this feel like? What do I want to become? And be super detailed. And it probably took me about 2 weeks. And I didn't know what I was doing. And it wasn't until I wrote down, what do I want to have? What do I want to do? And what do I want to become? And after I had written that, I had so much clarity. I knew exactly what to do. I wrote down my action steps to how to even get to where I want to be in 5 years. And I think that's super important that we do combine that and start really taking action of our lives because, life is short. We have these big dreams, and what is a better time to do it now than later? Especially right now, we all are sitting at home or we're slowly going back to work, and you're really getting to work on yourself right now and really think about, okay, I hate my job. I don't like working here. I don't actually have a job right now in some cases. Okay, well then what do you want to do with your life? And I think reflecting on that is super important. So when you're working your clients and you're asking them, what do you truly want? How do we get to that point of saying, actually, I want to become a doctor or I want to become a healer? What do we do to be able to have clarity even in our goals?
Yeah, essentially, so there's kind of two sides to it, right? You might want to become a doctor, but are you going to, are you willing to make those sacrifices? Are you willing to do the ugly work or the not so beautiful work, right? There's two sides to it, right? There's always sacrifice no matter what. So uncovering what you're willing to give in order to get that goal is really important, right? So the pros and the cons, essentially. I think to gain real clarity, you just have to be honest with yourself, right? And if let's say you want to become a coach or anything like that, right? What type of coach, how much do you want to make from it? These little tiny details help you understand what it's going to take of you to make it happen. Right? So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So then, you're good. So let's talk about if it is that money mindset, right? You do that, you help people transform their career. So then what is something, if you're coaching me, what is something I could do if I wasn't with you right now? What would you have me do at home to help already start to transform my mindset around money?
Yes, absolutely. So money, essentially, it's a really interesting idea to have a relationship with money, right? Because money, is just a means, well, depending, right? Sometimes in society, we think of money as, people with lots of money are greedy, or, they put people to seem a certain type of way, right? So you can list out all the ways, all the beliefs and things you've heard about money throughout your entire life up until now. Every single belief, from money's hard to come by, rich people are greedy, all of those beliefs, right? And sift through that belief list and find out, which one is mine? What do I agree with? What belief am I operating from, right? And then also, money can also be very emotional, right? If you've never had a lot of money, you can feel like a sense of shame for not having money. You don't have to deal with, fear of, I can't make it, or I can't acquire lots of it, right? So understanding, it's like a three-way trifecta, right? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about the world? And what do you believe about money itself, right? So sometimes you believe I'm not worthy of money. Then you can believe money itself is hard to come by, and then you can believe in the world that the rich keep getting richer, right? So these like all of these spheres are connected, right? You want to think of your belief system as a tabletop with different legs. You have to kind of knock down each leg so the belief will just but you can do this consciously. It takes a little bit more work, right? Or you can do it consciously. But essentially, all of the things that you've ever heard about money and what beliefs you're still operating from, right? And then look at your level of deservingness, right? We all have this threshold of deservingness, right? What we feel like we're allowed to have. And then if we get too close to it, we back down, right? It's like an upper limit, lower limit type of thing, right? So be honest with yourself. Do you want to be a millionaire? Like, do you want to, how much money do you really want to make, right? And then again, going back to, am I willing to do what it takes? What are different ways that I can bring in income? How am I blocking income, right? There's a lot of people are there ways they're blocking income, right? So there's so many things to do with money, but definitely look at your self-worth and how you feel about yourself. And then if you have an emotion, like for me, I have a very emotional negative past with money. Like my entire life is very tumultuous when it comes to money and my parents and their divorce, all of it, right? So when I think of money, I get a little like, right? I get a little like emotional. So if you have an emotional relationship with money in a negative way, start to write love letters to money. Start to treat money as a friend, right? How do you treat money in your wallet? How do you record where your money's going, right? If you had a boyfriend and you didn't give it attention, think of money the same way. You have to pay attention to money, build that relationship, intimacy with money. Don't avoid looking at your bank statement. Start to, one thing that you can also do is to start loving your bills, because your bills show that you are abundant, right? So pay your bill with a sense of love and gratitude that it's keeping your livelihood going, right? So it's a very intimate dance, but the more you get to sit down and look at money face to face in your relationship with it, the quicker you'll be able to let money in and see how you're sabotaging yourself.
Yeah. So I do what's called the abundance code, where I actually am muscle testing. So that's a form of kinesiology that gets in touch with the subconscious mind, and it's attracted to the positive, negative pole of the body. And so I'm muscle testing. Okay, do I have a positive belief surrounding money? So it's like, I am worthy of abundance. Okay, what percentage of me actually believes that I am worthy of it? And then I'm actually able to release anything, like you were saying, write down all those things that you have surrounding that. That is doing the subconscious work. So we're able to transform that, or we can even have stagnant energy that is causing us to not even become abundant. Basically, you're seeing what percentage you're actually manifesting that. And I think it's really important. Because you're able to, connect with it. And some things I have my clients do is, okay, this week we're going to focus on like all the money that's coming in. And so you're journaling, okay, I got a free coffee today, or my husband bought me dinner, or I got like a percentage off. So that's how much I brought in. Because then we're really, like you said, we're creating that love with that. And we're really finding like, oh my gosh, there's actually different ways we can receive that money in abundance. And so I think it's really important to love your money. I know for myself, when I was going through, okay, can I actually do this? Can I really succeed in this? I started writing that down and transforming my own thought process, inherited trauma surrounding money. And I was only having like 10 clients in like a week. And then a month later, I had 40 clients a week. So it's kind of interesting how just by releasing our subconscious belief systems and our negative energy, even directed towards money, how we can even shift that. I know, especially right now, a lot of people are like losing their businesses and they are losing work. So what would you say to them to help them get out of that? Because now they have this fear that, okay, now I can only survive with money. And how do we push ourselves to like grow our business now coming out of COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need to be open to possibilities, right? Open to things not being the way that they've always been, right? Mm-hmm. Money is like air. You can't hold on to it so tightly. You have to let it flow and come in and come out. So look at your money generating activities, right? If you can maybe upsell or downsell or bundle things, right? There's different ways to create income that you may have not been looking at. But essentially being in a fearful state of money restricts money, right? Like when you're afraid of any money loss, it restricts you from the flow, right? So again, even meditating, doing hypnosis, all of these things help you kind of relax around money and know that it's always coming. Just open up your channels to it, right? So pivoting sometimes is necessary, right? With me right now, I'm also pivoting a little bit into mindset and business coaching a little bit too, right? Because people, my entrepreneurial clients, they run businesses, right? So we can help them more. There's social media. So it's being open to things evolving and knowing that evolution is good and it's healthy and it's exciting if you allow it to be. Yeah.
I love that. So where can people follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am on Instagram the most daily at Narley K. So NARLEYK at Narley K. My website's under construction. That'll be up soon, but that's www.narleyk.com. And then you can email me at heynarleyk@gmail.com.
Perfect. I'm like, I'm going to message you. I need a session. So just reach out, right? We'll trade. So just reach out to her and see what she can do for you. I know this is a really important work. So reach out. She's not scary or anything. She's open to anyone who has questions. Is there anything else you would like to share before we close?
Yes. I just want to remind people that it is your thoughts and your feelings that create your reality, right? So pay attention to how you're feeling and thinking and take ownership of your thoughts, right? No one can think your thoughts for you. So the more that you can, really take away and nitpick at those negative thoughts and those negative feelings, I think our only job really as human beings is to feel good and to act from that feeling goodness, right? From that state of mind. So look at your thoughts and your feelings and you won't go wrong.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and for sharing light into this world. I am so excited to be with you on this journey, and thank you so much for being on. And I hope everyone who's watching, go ahead and comment what you learned from this video, how you liked it, and any tips you have for anyone else who's watching. And we thank you all for watching. Go ahead and subscribe. And I look forward to talking to you guys again. Have a great day.
Yeah.